Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Championship Prediction League. Myself and Oli Mann are with you this week. And Ollie, I think the first thing we have to do is reflect on our scores from game week 1. We don't have Gab with us today, but he has sent over his scores. And it's a bit of gloating for you, isn't it? You got 10 points.
Yeah, I've had a lovely weekend with one thing and another. I've got the perfect score going 3-2 QPR. That is doing a huge carry job for what otherwise was a pretty poor weekend. But then, of course, I'm riding a high anyway this weekend. We've just battered Wednesday. I'm having a lovely time. I'm top of the Predictions League. Everything's coming up, Ollie, right now.
Those 5 points are absolutely massive. You got 10 points, by the way. Gab got 6 points, respectable. I got 5 points. So I came up with this idea and I'm bottom of the league already. I'm going to have to be replaced by AI before the season's out and we'll see how we go. But no, I'm going to bounce back this weekend. This midweek set of fixtures. Gab has sent over his scores, as I say, and we have to start, I think, with Hull versus Ipswich. What a belting first game that is. You got Hull right, did you say, at the weekend?
I did, yeah. Hull was my one that I got right in the last one. Obviously, my anti-Hull agenda is working for me so far. And I think I'm going to have to double down. I think I need to really commit getting against Hull. I mean, the way this works, Ipswich have scored 8 goals in their last 2 games. They seem to have almost flipped their early season form. They've gone from a team who were great at home, rubbish away, to a team who were scoring for fun away, but seem to be hitting a little bit of a blip at Portman Road. Whereas Hull, just exactly the same analysis as last week. They are a team who consistently cannot defend. They are relying on chaos to create chances. They are relying on chaos to try and keep the ball out of the net. You cannot do that consistently. I think QPR created 3 XG for their 3 goals at the weekend. They were a deserved winner in terms of taking that game on. And I just think you can't be successful while ever you let your defence crumble the way they do. So I'm going for a comfortable away win. I'm going for another 4-goal haul for Ipswich. I think they'll win 4-2.
4-2. We should explain the rules, by the way. If you get a correct score with 5 goals or more, as Ollie did in the whole game last time, you get 5 points. If you get the correct score, you get 3 points. And if you get the correct result, you get 1 point. I got 5 correct results and no correct scores, I think, last week, which is rubbish. But what have you said? 4-2?
4-2 to Ipswich is where I'm going.
They've won their last 2 games away from home, 4-1. So I'm going to go 3 in a row. 4-1 Ipswich. More Hull misery. And Gab, by the way, has gone 3-1 Ipswich. So we've all gone Ipswich goals. Yeah, 4-1 Ipswich.
Yeah.
That would serve me well. That's a 5-pointer I've gone for there. Next up, it's the big one. I think we can all agree on Tuesday night. Middlesbrough versus Coventry. Top of the table clash. Cov 7 points clear at the top right now. I'm a very happy boy. You're a happy boy. I'm a happy boy. 7 points clear at the top. Beat West Brom 3-2. If they win this game, 10 points clear, Ollie. Insane. Are you do you want me to go first on this?
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you because obviously you've set me up for a fall because you know what my prediction is going to be for this one because you sent it through. But yeah, I mean, if Coventry win this game, you can almost write it off in terms of who's going to win the league, who's going to get automatic promotion. We can see Coventry riding off into the sunset. But for all that positivity and how fantastic you must be feeling, I think we've started to see chinks in the Coventry armour in recent weeks. Conceded the first goal, obviously lost the game against Wrexham, threw away a fantastic position to lose that game 3-2. You then conceded the first goal against United, a great second half comeback so that you win the game 3-1. Then concede the first 2 goals against West Brom, have to come from 2-0 down on Saturday. You can't keep giving up starts. You can't keep not scoring the first goal. I think if Boro score the first goal in this game, they will not give you that opportunity to come back into the game in the same way that United and West Brom have done. I mean, obviously the red card helps massively in terms of that comeback, that turnaround, just idiocy from Malumbe. I think that you're also playing Boro at a really dangerous moment. We talked about their win against Birmingham in their last home game was all about that kind of backs to the wall. Let's show Rob Edwards what he's missing, get out a fantastic performance. And the Riverside was massively up for it. I think they're going to do that again. I think this is going to be a packed Riverside. I think they're going to be loud. They're going to be vocal. They're going to make this so hostile for Coventry. I think, as has happened in recent weeks, Coventry will concede the first goal. Boro will go ahead, but they won't throw it away. I'm predicting a 2-1 home win for Middlesbrough in this one. If anything, just to keep the title race alive.
How dare you? How very dare you? By the way, I've done a big preview with Johnny from Boro Breakdown coming on the channel tomorrow. So make sure you like and subscribe and get your comments in down below. what do you think the score's going to be for this massive game? Ollie's gone for a Boro win and Cov's second defeat of the season, that would be. I am so on the fence for this game. You know I'm going to predict a draw. 1-1 is what I'm going for. I think Cov don't do draws this season, really, but I think it's a sensible result and a safe result for both teams. Both teams would shake hands on a draw right now, I think. I think the AD Vivash factor is he looks like he's going to be in charge as well worth considering. Oh, I'm going to be really boring and say a 1-1 draw, and I'd be happy with that, I think. Gab, by the way, he's gone 2-1 Cov, which would be momentous, wouldn't it? Absolutely huge. From probably the most exciting game of Tuesday night to, and I mean, no disrespect to both of these teams, but maybe I do. Norwich, Oxford, my word. If you're getting a ticket for this game, I feel sorry for you. I do apologise. Ollie, this is a game between two teams, but a really important game in terms of the relegation battle. They're both right in it.
Yeah, we've gone from a 6-pointer right at the very top to a 6-pointer right at the very bottom. And I think this is one of those games where it really, if Oxford win, it doesn't save Oxford, but it might condemn Norwich because Norwich have had a horrendous start to the season. If they lose this game, they will be 9 points from safety already.
Wow.
That is a long way to come back when you are out of form, when you have seemingly at the moment no safe haven. You can't get results at home. You're getting battered on the road away from home. You've changed your manager already and you've not seen an immediate uptick in performance or results. This game is so important for Norwich's season that I genuinely think it'll be the defining game when we get to the end of the year. If we're talking about a Norwich relegation to League One, this might be the midweek where we put a tick in the box and go, yeah, that was the day that it was confirmed. Because what Oxford do so well, and they're in a real relegation battle, but what they do so well is what we saw at the weekend. They keep the scoreboard ticking over. They get draws when they're not at their best. They've only won 3 games this year, but they've picked up points consistently through draws, and that keeps you in and around the chasing pack. It means you never get completely set adrift. Whereas Norwich just lose and lose and lose. I think particularly that home record.
7 out of 7.
Yeah. And I mean, will they think a point is a positive result? I don't know. It stops the rot. But I mean, I can't see anything else. I can't see how Norwich win this game. I just don't see anything. You know, we talk about that performance against Birmingham and they were just battered. And it looks like a team who have lost so much of their identity, so much about what they want to do in terms of their plan for the season. Clement might be a good manager, he might not, but he's got to work miracles to turn this around fast. I don't think he will. But having said that, I do think they will be baby steps forward. I think you've got to see a reaction to what happened at the weekend. I'm going 1-1. Yeah, I'm sitting on the fence for this one.
Yeah, that's very much on the fence. Gab's gone for a 0-0, so along the same lines there. I think, is this just me being naive? Norwich can't lose every home game this season. They can't. They've got a new manager in.
They can.
They can. They've got a better squad on paper than Oxford. This has to be it. If you can't beat Oxford at home, you might be going down. You might be getting relegated. I'm going to go for the worst game of the night and a 1-0 Norwich win, and they will be delighted with that. I don't think it will save their season by any means, but I think it'll be a very important 3 points for them. Next up, Stoke versus Charlton, and I'll give Gab's result first. He's gone 2-0 Stoke, and obviously we're talking after Charlton put in one of the worst first half performances we've ever seen under Nathan Jones, and them absolutely horrendous. What was it? 4 goals in 9 minutes for Southampton. Southampton absolutely flying. We'll come on to them later on. How do they respond to that defeat here? Obviously, second half, they kind of got a bit of pride back, but it was a hammering, wasn't it? And they don't lose many games at the Valley. I think that might be the second loss under Nathan Jones, maybe, if I'm correct. Oh, I don't know about this one. Stoke as well. I don't want to say a draw. Ollie, give me your prediction first. I'm handing it over to you.
I'm going to say 1-0 to Stoke, I think, in terms of where they're going to land on this one. And a big part of that for me, this is 2 teams who've just hit a mini rut. I'm not calling it a rut. They're both having amazing seasons, but they hit mini ruts. They've both lost their last 2 games. But for me, I think Charlton are just going to be shell-shocked because that was such a bad 45 minutes, such a dominant and destructive first half from Southampton that just completely took them apart. And I don't know how you pick yourself up immediately in terms of responding to that. I think Nathan Jones will say the way that you respond to that is that you immediately close the back door. You sit in, you try and defend, you want to see this out. You want to get through a game, 0-0, try and nick a 1-0 maybe towards the end of the game. But I just don't think they're going to be able to see this one out. I think there's still going to be a few sort of question marks about them. Is this going to turn from a mini rut into a little bit more of a problem? So I'm backing the home win. I'm going 1-0, and I think it's going to be close. I don't think either team is going to run away with this. But if one team were more likely to edge it, I'm going Stoke. And so I am going to back them 1-0, home win.
I might reverse your scoreline there. I think Nathan Jones' teams don't get into losing runs often. I think you will always see a response from them. I think Stoke might be reeling a bit after that Coventry defeat and the way it happened. They were second in the league. They could have closed the gap to 3 points, I think it was. They were beaten in the 85th minute. They've gone to Leicester and lost, and Leicester aren't a great team. I am concerned that Stoke might be losing that early season momentum. And I think Charlton could go and do a job on them. And just because it's against what you two have said, I'm going for a 1-0 away win. Come on, Charlton. Come on, Nathan Jones. Get the job done. Swansea Derby is an interesting one again. Very interesting fixture for both of those teams. Derby, I mean, what happened to them this weekend? It looked like they were on course for, 6 wins in a row? And then Watford come to town and just turn them over with a 3-2 win. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I would lean towards Derby, I think. In fact, I am going to lean towards Derby. I don't know what's going on with Swansea at the minute. They're still managerless, aren't they? Need to get that sorted. And I might go for a big away win. Should I do a big?
Ooh, do a big one.
3-2 Derby. I need these bonus points. Let's have an open encounter in Wales. Come on.
I cannot see that happening in the slightest. I think very much, you talk about what just happened. I mean, Derby, we talked about being shell-shocked. Derby might be a little bit shell-shocked. 2-0 up, cruising, 6 wins in a row. They were in the playoffs. I think they were 5th with 6 minutes of their game to go. All of a sudden, Watford turn it round. They've lost 3-2, the end of that winning run. I think, similar to what I said about Charlton, I think Derby are going to go back to basics. I think they're going to say, you know what, let's draw a line under it. 3 goals in half an hour. It happens. Everybody has a disaster. Lock it away in your brain. Throw that over there because we don't need to focus on it. They're going to go back to the wall and try and make sure that Swansea can't break them down, be hard to beat. But then I look at this Swansea team and I think, who's actually going to mark Carlton Morris? Who in this Swansea team is going to stop Patrick Agyemang from being able to get on top of him down that wing? I just think Derby have got too much for them in so many areas of the pitch. And so I think this is a comfortable away win. I'm not going crazy, but I think it's going to be 2-0 to Derby. I think they'll quickly get themselves back on the right foot.
I forgot how poor Swansea were this weekend. And I'm slightly regretting my prediction already. I can't change it, though. I've said it now. I've gone for 3-2 Derby. Why not? Let's see what happens there. What's our next fixture on the cards? We've got, talking of Watford, we've got Preston at home. I am annoyed at Preston.
Yep.
Because I gave them my full backing after being negative about them too much this season. Same with Hull, by the way. I went, right, I'm clearly wrong. They must be right. They must be good. I backed them both to win, and they both lost. So I'm not falling for that again. Watford, I think, are a real playoff contender. They've got so many good attacking players. Massive comeback win. Confidence must be so high. Imran loses one of the best midfielders in the league. 3-0 Watford. Come on, the boys. The goals are coming.
Oh, that is a man who really has fallen out with Preston. I mean, this time last week when we were doing the show, we had all of us, I think, predicted Watford to lose, and all of us predicted Preston to win. To turn that into a 3-0 Watford win against Preston is quite an enjoyable turn. I don't know with this one. I got these teams so drastically wrong last week in terms of their performance level. I think, the Watford Derby game went exactly how I thought it would. I thought Derby would get on top of them. I thought they would expose them defensively. I thought they would hurt them with the key men that Derby have got going forwards. But I didn't see that explosive 30 minutes coming out of Watford. I didn't see their way of turning it around. And, what a time for Edo Kayembe to start his season. He's not got any goals. He's got 2 in 2 minutes to win the game for you right at the death. Whereas Preston, almost to an extent, that game went kind of how I thought it was going to. It was sort of nip and tuck. Preston were probably edging it in terms of the sort of run of the ball, the way the play was going. Blackburn just got the goals and they hurt them defensively in a way that I didn't think was going to happen to Preston. So I almost feel as though I got the process right, but I got the outcome wrong. And I have let it affect me massively. So I'm sitting on the fence again. I'm going 1-1 Watford-Preston. I just can't pick them between these. I think I've got the right sense of this. I think I know both teams, but I want more evidence before I nail my colours to the mast again. 1-1.
Do you not think Watford are a better team than Preston? You're really
No.
going on the fence there. No.
I really don't think they are. I think Watford are a team of moments. I think in moments, Watford can be a really good team. And in bits and starts, they can look outstanding. I think they've got some really exciting players. I think if Kerengard can get himself into some kind of form, maybe they will become a consistent team that are able to deliver. But I really like this Preston side. I think Heckingbottom's doing a really good job with them. I think they've had a fantastic start to the season in terms of, performances against expectations. I just think there's something there for me. And I think if I was backing one of them, I think I would back Preston over the long term because I think Watford are too inconsistent.
Gab put 4-1 Watford.
Woo!
So he's on the Watford hype train right alongside me. So this is why you're top of the league so far, isn't it, Ollie? This is why you're being sensible. Southampton, Leicester, 2 relegated Premier League teams. Let's not forget Southampton now 3 wins in a row, isn't it?
Yeah.
Climbing up the table, looking really good, scoring a lot of goals. Leicester also got a win as well against Stoke over the weekend. I think a Southampton win makes more than enough sense. I think they're a stronger team. I think they're finally becoming the team we thought they could be at the start of the season, where we had them in automatic promotion conversations. I'll give Leicester a goal, though. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Southampton win.
This is Spider-Man meme. I'm going for a 3-1 Southampton win.
Wow.
I was just looking at what I've got written on my notes and almost word for word kind of what you said there. I was like, Southampton coming to form, look like an automatic promotion team that we were predicting at the start. This is what we've been waiting for from them. Lots of confidence there about Southampton's turnaround. But, let's just talk about Leicester for a moment. I do think, they've got 2 wins in a row now. Maybe there's a little bit more consistency coming out of them. It feels as though the process has been better in recent weeks. They're winning XG battles. They're creating good chances rather than relying on moments of brilliance. They've got a goal out of Patson Daka. If he can actually get into some form, because when did he last score a goal? But if they can get him into some form, maybe that gives them a real chance, because I do think they've been missing that consistent number 9, a goal scorer who you can rely on. So maybe that gives them a little bit more positivity from an outsider's perspective for the rest of their season. But I think I just put so much more trust that Southampton's recovery, their run, is more reliable. I feel as though they've actually turned a corner, they've changed manager, and you've seen an immediate increase in their performances. I think that first half against Charlton was as good a 45 minutes as you're ever going to see. Well, as good a 10 minutes, I suppose, as you're ever going to see. And yeah, I'll back that all day long. 3-1 Southampton. Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, nice. It's nice to agree on that one. Gab put 2-0 Southampton, so we've all gone for a Southampton win there. Blackburn QPR. Oh, I'm so sick of Blackburn Rovers being impossible to predict, and QPR actually. I don't. What on earth did that win come from? I got that one wrong as well. Don't follow my tips, by the way, if you're listening along. I think Blackburn are. What have they got? 4 wins out of 5? Is that right?
Yeah.
12 points out of their last 15. I think that puts them 3rd in the form table. So you have to back them to win the game. I think that makes sense, right?
It does.
I'm going to go 1-0 based on very, very little indeed, other than Blackburn are in good form. QPR obviously got a very important win, but have struggled on the road at times this season. Yeah, 1-0. Not feeling this game, really.
Yeah, you see, actually, I'm going the other way on this. I think this game's going to be an unbelievable watch for the neutral, because I think what you've actually got here is a QPR side who, yes, have question marks about them. I think they're quite young. There's a lot of development to do. I think there's a reason we're seeing a lot of sort of consistent inconsistency from them, in that for half an hour, you'll go, they're a team. And then for half an hour, you'll go, what are they doing? I don't understand their performance. I think that in their attack, they've got some really exciting players. Richard Kone, I really rate as one of the best attackers in the league at the moment. But Blackburn, as you say, just keep doing Blackburn things. I think Good Johnson's got 4 goals in his last 5 games now. He looks a consistent goal threat after basically looking rubbish for the start of the season when he first come in. And so Yeah, it's a really tricky one to predict. I'm going a really good game. If you're a neutral and you can't figure out which one to have on the red button, probably go for this one. And I'm going to say it's going to be 2-2.
Oof, not quite going for the bonus points.
Not quite going for the bonus point. I only want the bonus points when they're available, and they're not going to be available in this game.
What did Gab say for this one? 2-1 Blackburn as well. So there you go. Two Blackburn wins, narrow margins. Millwall, Sheffield Wednesday. Talk about a little bit about Sheffield Wednesday, but they are really bad.
How bad they are.
They are so bad. It didn't even feel like a derby today because of the levels that Sheffield Wednesday are at. And importantly, they are really bad during 3-game weeks because they don't have the squad to compete. So I would expect this 3-game week to end in 3 defeats for them. I don't want to chase the bonus points when they're not there. I might just go for a 2-0 Millwall.
Ooh, you see, like you say, this for me, I feel sorry for Millwall because I'm not basing any of this prediction on you. No. I cannot believe how bad they are. Like, I've come into this and you'll have heard me speak last week about, they've got a decent championship squad. They're competitive. You've seen them put in performance. I don't understand how they've got any points. They're rubbish. They
are on minus, aren't they?
Yeah. But I mean, technically they've won some points. But I've never seen a performance like that in what is supposed to be a derby. They were just so insipid. United, we could have had 6 if we'd wanted them. I've never seen a team turn up like that to a game that's supposed to be as important as that is. It just felt like, by the end, it felt like attack versus defense friendly. There was a point, I think we were 7-on-3 in terms of going forward. We didn't score, obviously. But, you were just watching it thinking, is this a pre-season friendly and we're away at York? What's going on here? Why is this happening? I think it's perfect for Millwall. They're 4 games without a win. I really expected better from them at the weekend. I thought that was a really poor result for them going away to Portsmouth and coming away with a tail between the legs a little bit. But this comes
red card as well. Had the red card as well. Suspension, worth considering. Yeah.
Well, it's worth considering if they were playing somebody else. I'm going 3-0 because if Wednesday turn up and put all that performance in again, they'll just get battered by everybody. 3-0 to Millwall.
You matched up Gab on that one. He's gone 3-0 as well, which brings us nicely to Sheffield United versus Portsmouth. How are you feeling, Ollie, after a comfortable derby win? Is this the turning point?
It's got to be. I'm calling it the catalyst. And if you follow me on our channel, you'll hear me say the word catalyst quite a lot because I think what it's got to be is, look, that's like I've just covered, that's as easy a derby day as anyone is ever going to have. It can't be that that's the high point of the season, though. We can't come away at the end of this year going, yeah, but we won 3-0 at Hillsborough. That's not going to have to matter. We've got to move on. We've got to get momentum, some positivity coming through us from that. Tyrese Campbell's got his goals. That's got to be the start of a run for him where he gets consistent performances in front of goal. We've seen a defence that's kept a clean sheet. Yes, they had nothing to keep the clean sheet from, but still it's a clean sheet. We've got to build on it. Portsmouth, when you look at them, I don't think they've won in 6 away from home. They've conceded 7 in their last 2 away games. They do look like a team that have been really struggling for any kind of form. They've had a fantastic result at home to sort of end the slide and really get themselves feeling good. But, one thing that people look at in weeks like this is, they're going to have had an extra day's rest than us. Yeah, but they've also got to travel from Portsmouth to Sheffield. I just don't see that as being any kind of advantage. I think it completely negates it. So I'm feeling positive. I'm in a really good mood. United are going to win again. We're going to back it up. We're going to get ourselves closer to being out of the relegation zone. We're going to win 2-0 at Bramall Lane.
Gab's gone for a 1-0 Sheffield United win.
Don't do
1-1. 1-1. I can't get carried away with the Sheffield United team right now. And today didn't count for anything, in my humble opinion. Portsmouth, got a decent win. Hopefully some confidence. Hopefully they can start to get going this season. So we're about them to get a good point. I think it'll be a good contest actually at Bramall Lane. We've got 2 games to go. Brings us to North Wales and Wrexham versus Bristol City. Another good showing from Wrexham. Still on this little undefeated run. Is it up to six matches undefeated? Bristol City, big 3-0 win over Swansea. I've got to go Wrexham. I'm properly on the Phil Parkinson hype train right now. I think they're a good team. I think they're growing into the season. I think they're getting better. I think they'll be on the edge of the playoffs. You're not happy with my Wrexham praise.
No.
I'm going 2-1 Wrexham. There you go.
I agree that Wrexham have made themselves really hard to beat. I think they've made themselves a really good run of form. They have proved that they can mix it with some of the best teams in the Championship. They are a very solid, competitive side. But what I saw against Ipswich was a team that, as soon as Kiefer Moore isn't there, they cannot create chances consistently and hurt you. I think it was 2 shots they managed in 90 minutes, an XG of 0.04. They don't look like a team
is there, isn't it? That's one of, if not the toughest away game in the league.
Oh, it's by far the toughest away game in the league, and it's an unbelievable point to go and get.
Come on, mate.
I'm still having nightmares about when we went to Portman Road, to be honest. So, because they absolutely hammered
this season, though.
No, I mean, I don't think we're the benchmark that you should be measuring against, but I do think that there is important context, but I'm really concerned about their creative numbers. I don't know how they go out there and consistently create chances, score goals, especially if Kiefer Moore's not going to be fit and in this team. I think he's their most important player by a mile. However, I think they're just hard to beat. I don't think you're going to go there and be able to turn them over. Start of the season, defensively, they did not get to grips with the Championship, but they have solved that problem. I think even though they're bouncing after this fantastic win they had at the weekend, I don't think Bristol City are going to go there and break them down. I think this is going to be rubbish to watch. I said before that I think the QPR game is the one that you should go out of your way to watch. I think Wrexham Bristol City is the game you should go out of your way to avoid. I think it's going to be 0-0. I think Wrexham will do a fantastic job of shutting Bristol City down, but I just don't think they'll create anything of their own.
Interesting. Gab's gone 2-2 in that game, by the way. Very interesting indeed. Goals
galore.
Gab. West Brom Birmingham brings us to a close for this midweek game, and I am confused about West Brom because they were really good for the opening half an hour, and then Ryan Mason decided to take off Mikey Johnson at half time, which was just a tactical change after he got 2 assists. Very, very confusing indeed. And obviously the red card impacted them at the weekend and they lost the game. They showed they were a good team in spells. They got good individual players.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much I trust Ryan Mason right now. I still think he's learning quite a few tough lessons in the Championship this season. And I think Birmingham are really getting going now. Obviously, a win over Norwich is hard to gauge at the minute. Don't know where they're at as a club, but they had 2 4-0 wins prior to the international break at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to win again here quite comfortably. I think this could be a statement win for Birmingham. 3-0 away win for Birmingham City. And they're really going to power into the playoffs and really make their mark on this season. That's what I think.
Agreed. I'm going 3-1 Birmingham. I think West Brom, I think it's really frustrating, that decision from Mason at the weekend. I think their fans have been getting onto him a little bit. They've been really disappointed with what they've seen. But I think that's the first real example I've had of going, actually, he's making mistakes now that are costing them points. I think the game was there for them to be won. I think they just needed to keep doing what they were doing. I understand the need for a bit of extra defensive solidity, but you've got to make sure that you've still got an outlet. You've got to have a way to hurt the opposition, and Maggie Johnston is by far their way of hurting the opposition. I think Malumbe just needs to look at himself, because that's a disgrace. That decision on a yellow card, when you're it's just insane to me. I can't believe that a professional footballer does it. But that is what it is. I think Birmingham really look like they've clicked. Stansfield is in mad form at the moment. He looks like a really good striker that we all knew he was when Birmingham spent £500 million on him in League One. I think I'm going to back it. He's going to score and Birmingham are going to win 3-1.
3-1, and Gab has made it 3 out of 3 for Birmingham. Birmingham fan himself has gone for a 1-0. Much more conservative win there. I need some points this week, so keep an eye on the results, because I really need to get back into this already. Let us know your score predictions in the comments down below. Really intrigued to hear what you guys think. Like and subscribe while you're there. We'll be back this weekend, where we'll be just doing some more predicting, Ollie, and hopefully I'll have gained back some more points. What's the result you're most confident about out of all of them? What's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week, I am going to double down on Southampton at home to Leicester. I know we agreed on it, which gives me a bit of extra confidence, but I'm more than happy to double down on that one.
Brilliant stuff. I don't know what my pick of the week is. Maybe I'm going to go Watford. I'm feeling really good about Watford.
Sickening. I disagree.
you didn't say it, so I'm going to say it. I'm big on Watford. I think Watford can get a big home win, get themselves back into the playoff picture. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We will see you next time.